Welcome back to the Brothers Woods podcast. It's your normal host here, Joshua. Got my brother Jared.
Yo!
And we got Payne Woods over here now.
How's it going?
Not really Payne Woods, but
Pretty classic intro right there. How's it going? I swear
going?
you've done that every time.
Audience
It's
never
real
answers
consistent.
me.
the audience never answers me. So we're back, man, for our finale Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 7 discussion and review. And so what'd you guys think overall?
Really good. A lot of stuff we needed to see. A lot of stuff we've been waiting 8,000 years to see happen.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a great episode. And I think like we got a dragon, we got a frost dragon in this one. We finally got the people to meet. We finally got Pod meeting back up with old Bran and
Well,
Tyrion.
yeah, I mean,
What a great reunion.
I was
yeah,
really
so
hoping for that.
well, yeah, just I guess to jump right into it, so we start off in King's Landing, at the Dragon Pit. Everyone's finally meeting up, and like you were just talking about, we have a lot of this whole season, man, has been like a season of reunions.
Hey, I know you. What's up?
When they look back, 10 years from now, and they're like, man, Game of Thrones was so great, yo. They're going to look back and be like, hey, do you remember that reunion season? That's what season 7 is going to be called, the reunion season.
When everybody came back.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and we start off with Jaime and Bronn up on top of what looked like High Garden, but is actually King's Landing's walls.
Yeah, I thought it was High Garden first.
Same.
Yeah, so a lot of people did. I didn't. I already knew what it was.
It didn't take me long to figure it out, but
yeah, I mean they're
I was
admiring.
like, what are the Unsullied doing
the
at High
cockless.
Garden?
Yeah, they're admiring the cockless, and which kind of comes to play later on, which I actually thought was kind of cool. But anyways, they're admiring the Unsullied and all her forces. Dany's coming full-fledged, man. If you hurt Dany or any of her people, she's going to fuck everybody up. Pretty much what she's saying.
Yeah, it's a big threat.
How cool was it to see the Dothraki and Unsullied side by side, even though they weren't fighting, and see how like the Unsullied are so unshaken when they're riding through their lines?
I thought that was...
Yo, I thought that the Dothraki were crazy. They got real close to the wall. You could have just just poured some shit down.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome as shit, yo. Like,
What?
the Unsullied, didn't give a shit, bro. They was like the whole time, they never moved at all. They were just like, we're here. I mean, you can't see me because we don't have a camera, but we're just like, we're here. And then the fucking Dothraki, bro, they were just coming through. I was telling Jared when this was going down, I was like, how much you want to bet somebody ran over somebody when this scene was being shot?
Yeah, it was
There's
crazy.
no way all these horses are coming through and someone didn't get run the fuck over.
It was cool to see those two armies mix, and it was really it's awesome. Both of those armies are great, anyways. But I was thinking at the time, neither of those armies probably are very good at siege warfare.
Right?
I imagine. I was thinking they're kind of at a huge disadvantage because, you were saying they could just blow open a hole with the dragon, but the dragon wasn't even there. A dragon wasn't even there.
I guess that is their ultimate siege weapon,
Right.
though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right then. But by the time the war, if they were to actually go at it, I mean, the dragons would be there and they would blow it. Just like we'll see later and talk about later in the episode, they'd have put a hole in that bitch, okay?
Yeah. Well, I think there's some magic going on there.
Yeah, I mean,
it looked anyways.
I do as well, but yeah. I also like how the Unsullied and the Dothraki, really complement each other, I feel like, though. If you're talking about, an open battlefield, bro, the Unsullied could be there and the Dothraki just flank hella hard from the cavalry, from the side, bro. They would destroy any army.
They're also, frightening as fuck.
Both of them
are
in their own
wow,
ways.
damn.
Yeah.
You have one that's just extremely disciplined versus the just chaos and absurd insanity of a ton of horsemen or cavalry people who are considered savages. Really scary.
Definitely. So, like I said, we're in King's Landing. People are meeting back up so we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. But I love all the meetings, man. I love Podrick and Payne.
Remember when Podrick and Payne met up and they had a drink and
I mean,
had a few drinks.
Podrick and Tyrion finally meet back up. People have been kind of talking and wanting that to happen because they love each other. And
I thought
last week on the pod.
I thought this meeting was going to go really, really wrong because when they first get there, or when they get there, Bronn's like, you and me, Pod, we're going to go get a drink. Let these people talk. I thought that was a sign. Bronn knew shit was going down, and he was taking Pod out of it because he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I I just want to mention that we actually never see them the rest of the episode. Where the fuck are they at?
They're just having a
It
drink.
turns out, my buddy messaged me on like Saturday, and we were talking about it. Flynn and Hetty, Cersei and Bronn dated like 15 years ago. It didn't end well, and they don't ever want to be on scene together. There's one scene where they pass each other in a hall, but like a body double could have
Are
been
they
used.
like looking at each other?
Yeah, so when that scene came on where Bronn's like cleverly written off screen, I just like turned around and looked at Autumn, and I was like, I wonder why that just happened before Cersei came out.
I guess that makes sense, but man, can they really not stand to be in a fucking scene together like for like half a second?
I guess so. I mean, also you can, if you want to, add tension because it's like, oh, he's taking away someone innocent. This might be a trap, but
yeah, I mean, I saw that as well, but for me, in terms of the story, I kind of was sitting there like, where did they go, man? I feel like they're gonna just show up north. Like they were like hitched a ride on the boat. Bron's like, I'm out of this. He's like, let me take him, and then I'm gonna hitch a ride, and I'm gonna be on the boat. Jamie's gonna get up there and be like,
No, they're gonna be like, they're just gonna end up in Essos, just on a beach somewhere. It's gonna, at the very end.
do
At
you
the very
think
end of
Bronn's
season
gonna
8.
change sides? Tyrion was trying to convince him.
I mean, if Jamie's gone, I do
It-
for sure.
It's a hard question because Bronn has been consistent that he's all about taking care of himself. Fighting the undead is not taking care of himself.
I mean, you say that, but literally, we didn't get a chance to talk about that. But the Blackwater crew meets back up essentially as well here. You have Tyrion, Bronn, Varys, somebody else is there.
Hound.
Hound, Pot, yeah. So they're all here, and like Tyrion kind of brings up this same thing. He's like, Bronn's like, I'm out for myself, and Tyrion's like, I mean, setting up the meetings you just set up, that's not out for yourself. And he makes some snarky little comment like, yeah, it is, but in reality, it's not. And so I don't know, man. I mean, I think when faced with greater truth, like in the early scenes with Bronn, yeah, that's how he is. But just like with Jamie, seeing the undead and other people seeing the undead, they're gonna realize like, all right, there's a greater fucking fight here. So I don't think that's.
I guess what I'm saying is, we'll see. Depending on what Bronn does, we'll see his true character. Is he really this guy he keeps saying he is that doesn't care about anything, or maybe he's grown to be someone who is more honorable than he puts on?
I think he don't care about anything is a whole facade. I think it's been a facade from the beginning. That's just the way he puts himself. But on a special note, I actually was thinking about that too, because later, and I'll get to it later, but when Jamie leaves, Bronn's not with him, and I'm like, where the fuck is Bronn? That's what got me thinking, like, we saw him with Podrick, never see either of them again the rest of the episodes. Like, where are they gone this entire time?
I mean, probably just not enough time. I mean, this is a long-ass episode, so to have an episode where Pod and Bronn are doing something, the only thing I can imagine is them going up with Jamie, but they wouldn't do that, probably.
Pod
At least
would
Pod
have
wouldn't.
gone with Brienne.
Yeah, Pod would go with Brienne.
Yeah.
I think they just didn't have time.
I'm assuming Brienne's on the ship, though, with everybody else. I doubt they're like, oh, we'll take the ship. You
go ahead and
back.
ride back the way you came.
Yeah, I mean, what else y'all think about this scene? Me, personally, want to mention Hound and the mountain seeing up again. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. We were talking about earlier, man. I love the comment. He's like, you're even uglier than I am now.
That's great. Yeah, and he's like, you still in there? Yeah. You're not dead yet. You know who's going to kill you. Something like that. It's great. I remember I was a little, I'm not going to say frustrated, but I really felt like Daenerys, when Cersei was like challenging Daenerys, she was like, you want me to pull back my armies while you solidify and all that. I thought Daenerys should have just been, I have a dragon right there. I will burn you and everyone around here. I could do it now.
You're the one that needs to solidify, not me. Don't you see all my Dothraki screamers and my Unsullied and my 2 dragons right outside?
Exactly. That's why I'm like, she has the advantage. Why doesn't she point that out?
I agree. I actually read that in my notes, too. I agree completely. Like, I mean, we were talking about while we were watching it, me and Jared. Like,
Yeah, it was
we were
weird.
like, why is she not, like, she's like, oh, I have this, and what do you think? All of what Jared was just saying, because I just made that sound jumbled, but all what he was just saying is, like, the whole time I was like, why is she not like, did you not just see my dragon and my shit I had with me? Like, I'm giving you a blessing right now. Like, I could literally, from day one, like, we've been fucking around this war. That's because your little brother, which I'm not so sure about. Because from day one, I could have been down here and killed your ass and took this bitch from day one, which I've been saying from day one she should have done. Because this whole thing would tie up a lot nicer when she's got to fight the undead at the end. But
Exactly. I just thought the whole first part of the episode is like establishing that Daenerys actually does have a big advantage, or at least has a big threat right now. and she doesn't use that threat. She doesn't level that threat. She's just like, yeah, well, okay, do it because it's important.
What I liked so much about her entrance on the dragon and being after Cersei was Cersei loves to be the late entrance. She's always like the last one everywhere, every kind of thing she's been in, and she was outdid by Dany. And also, that entrance kind of made me believe that Euron was being sincere, because he also said something about, let's go back to our islands and we'll be the only two left after it's all over. So I thought he was like, he's got a better chance of winning, and he was pulling like a Tywin, but I guess he's pretty loyal to his queen pie.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely did get a little rock hard when those fucking dragons came down, though. Like, so I could definitely see where you're coming from.
Euron
like,
was
dragons?
such a dick. I was like,
I mean, true to his character, though. Like, that's
for
who
sure.
it is. Like, it was fantastic.
I was kind of loving how everybody, like, on both sides were just like, oh my god, this guy is such a dick.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that when he was kind of belittling Theon, and Tyrion looks at Jaime, and Jaime's just like, I'm sorry, I don't really control this guy.
Right. Yeah, he's just like, is this for real? We're doing something right now. And he's like, you know, in the Iron Isles, we just kill the little people. And he's just like, what the fuck is going on? We were trying to do something here.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. But I agree. I actually believed when Euron walked away, even though the entire scene I was like, nope, Cersei's playing him. Cersei is bullshitting him. There's no way she'll do this. I did kind of believe Euron. Just it was set up really well, and he really well acted it, I think, where he was just like, they can't swim? Gone. See you guys later.
Yeah, definitely. One other little thing for this before we get, I guess, the main part of the Dragon Pit, which we're kind of getting into now, but what about that scene with the Mountain and Brienne, yo? That shit was fucking awesome.
The Hound and Brienne or the Mountain and Brienne?
My bad. What are we talking about? Like Sandor and Brienne.
Old Sandor.
The Arya's adopted parents kind of being proud of her. It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when they first looked at each other and Brienne was like, I thought I killed that guy. I was like, this is great.
He's like, you got close, or you almost did it.
Now we're going north. Well, you know, we'll get that soon, but they're going back north, and you got Brienne going up north. We'll talk. I said this like 4 times already, but Tormund, I'm assumingly, I don't think he's dead, so I think he'll be at Winterfell next season too. So we're gonna have Brienne coming back north to Winterfell, the Hound there, Tormund there, and now Jaime maybe also there. That's gonna be one fucking. I feel like Tormund's gonna like kill Jaime, yo. Like he's not gonna kill him, but he's gonna like punch him or something. Like gonna get in a fight, yo. He's gonna see Brienne just like staring at Jaime and with her little googly eyes. And that's just gonna be dope, man. I want to
maybe, but then again, Tormund is like he's a wildling, so he definitely might do something like that. But at the same time, I think he knows about the threat more than anyone. So from the White Walkers, so he might just be like, well, you know, whatever. I'm probably gonna die anyways.
Do you remember the badass headbutt on Small John Umber in the Battle of Bastards, though? What if Jaime had something like those coming his way from Tormund?
I think you're right. I don't think Tormund's dead. I don't think Beric's dead because we didn't see their deaths on screen.
I think you're right. Those are 2 big characters they would show on screen.
It would have to. It would be shitty if it wasn't on screen.
So next we get the Hound. He's bringing out Cersei's like, I guess everyone's bullshitting everyone. They're finally like, all right, let's just fucking show them the shit. And
yeah, why didn't they just start, or why didn't what's his name bring the crate up first? Why'd they have the whole scene?
They had that shit planned up, brother. I was waiting down them stairs like, there's my cue.
yeah. I love how when he leaves the crate behind, he's like, anyone touches this, I kill you first. Great.
Yeah, I love just the house so fantastic, man. I love when he's opening the crate, you know, like he brings it up, he's opening the crate.
He's
so skittish around the crate. And then, like, it's
scared,
like, boom, you know, like, he sits back, the crate's open, nothing happens. So for a second there, I was like, shit, this thing's dead.
Yeah.
I was thinking, son of a bitch.
Yeah, my thought at that point was that the Night Commander was controlling him, Night King was controlling him, and he was just playing with him. He was like, play dead.
Still could have been the case. He could have been, like, play dead just to fuck with them. But, because he did go straight at, so, like, he kicks it over, then fucking hauls ass out and goes straight for Cersei, which I thought was fantastic. You actually see the fucking fear on Cersei's face and everything.
Lena
and I think that
Headey
was true as
plays
fuck.
that really well. I was really like, whoa, she's, like, actually scared.
Yeah.
She's freaking out, actually, a little bit, looks like.
Yeah, and I had that written down, too, man. Lena, like, man, she's such a good, at least facial actor, man. Holy shit. Like, just throughout this entire
she does
episode,
great
like,
facial
I think I
expressions.
gave her, like, in that little postscript survey on Reddit, man, I think I gave her, like, best one. It was like choose up the two as the best or who acted the best, and I think I gave her one. Like she's so good at acting, man. Like I hate her ass, but
She
I mean,
does this thing.
It's how much I hate her is why she's so good.
She does this thing that I think any other actor would just look like they're just constipated. So she's like, but for her, it makes her look like she's like being evil or considering something.
Anyways,
I've got something that kind of related to this. I don't know if it's the right place. The importance to Cersei of Jon staying neutral when, let's say, what is the North in their battle, really? A few more men on Daenerys' side. Is not just that, because let's say, I'm going to go out on a limb. The Night Watch isn't a thing anymore. Definitely not. Samwell Tarly is about to be Lord of most of the Riverlands because he's going to have the Tarly name. And so that's going to be all those forces plus the Knights of the Vale. So basically everything north of King's Landing is a big Jon has a massive influence over. Now, that's why it was really important for Cersei to try to gain his neutrality so she would at least have a chance to gain some of those back to her side.
yeah, definitely. Anyways, Qyburn picks up the hand. He's freaking out, whatever. He's super happy.
Yeah, Qyrburn's a little freaky guy. He's like,
Yeah.
whoa, this is a fucking living hand. This is. Anyways,
You think Jaime was triggered when they cut off that hand?
Oh, he was like,
Not cool.
damn.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It'd be great if Hound looked at Jaime and was like, sorry. my bad.
Why would the Hound look at Jaime?
Whoever cut it off, the hand.
Locke, who had his neck snapped by Hodor north of the wall.
Yeah. That's why when you were saying, I was like, what does the Hound have to do with Jaime's hand coming off?
No, I just mean whoever cut the hand off would be like, oh, my bad, I forgot you were missing a hand.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Cersei's like, all right. So she's freaked out. She's like, fuck. All right, let's do this. We can have a truce. But my man Jon, he can stay king in the north, but he's got to be a neutral party. Jon's an honorable dude. He's like, sorry, I've already been the knee in multiple ways, baby.
Yeah, that's true. The one thing that I was not necessarily understanding was he bent the knee to Daenerys, so Daenerys could have just been like, okay, Jon won't help us.
I guess that's true, but I mean, she was like, I can't bend the knee. Like, Cersei was like, fuck it, I'm out. Throwing a tantrum.
But he could have just looked at her like, what do you think? Should I? Because you tell me what to do.
I don't
bend
know.
the knee.
I mean, if he's...
I don't know. It was a little weird, but yeah, you're
Once
right.
he's been the
Big
knee,
conflict.
like, he's going to be helping.
Doesn't
out,
matter.
so.
It's all big play anyways by Cersei.
Yeah, which, I mean, again, we were talking about when we were watching it. I knew this was coming. Like,
I was pretty sure.
Like, maybe the Euron part wasn't necessarily the 100% obvious, but there's no way Cersei was agreeing to this. Like, she's a fucking loon.
Yeah, she's a crazy person.
She's literally like the Mad King 2.0. So, like, she's like a smarter Mad King, a more devious Mad King. So, I definitely didn't see this. I definitely saw she wasn't joining them.
The only time I bought her was when she was saying, I hope you remember how we decided to help you and nothing in return, because she was thinking about her and Jaime's future just as maybe not being rulers, but at least being powerful. But clearly, she's Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you're last. And that's how she sees
exactly.
it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later, but I'm still not 100% that she's actually pregnant. She uses that pregnancy to play people.
She wasn't drinking. You think this lady would stop drinking?
Yeah, she wouldn't drink because she's trying to get people to think she's pregnant. Like, she's using the idea that she's pregnant to manipulate people, which makes me think that she might not actually be pregnant. She might just be, like, holding her belly when Tyrion comes around to be like, you see what I'm winking? I'm trying to...
Which, we're just about to get into. She walks off. Tyrion then follows her and is like, all right, he's like, I got to do this. So he's going to talk to her. And just to get into that scene, I think she purposely did that, too.
Oh, yeah.
I think she played the fuck out of Tyrion. Like,
she
people were,
definitely
talking about this is, like, their best scene, and I thought it was a fantastic scene. It was a good scene for Tyrion as well. But I completely think again, Tyrion's been fucking up all season. He's fucking up again here. I think he got played, bro. You played yourself. That's what I like to say. Like,
in the words of DJ Khaled, you played yourself.
No, he got played, bro. I think she knew he's clever enough for her to put that hand over her stomach.
And yeah, aren't they talking about
and for her not to take
or
wine?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
So I think she completely played him, yo. Like, Tyrion's just fucking up, bro.
Agreed. Yeah, he really is. All season he's been trying to be the guy we want, but he just can't do it. Now that he's supposed to be doing like the right thing, it's just not working out for him for whatever reason. Maybe because I don't know, whatever.
You know what makes sense to me in regards to Cersei playing Tyrion? her not cutting him down right there, because I was struggling to find out why, and my only reason when I was watching was maybe she loves her little brother a little bit, but I really fucking doubt that. So I feel like she just needs him as a pawn.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That, and then the fact that killing him might would have caused those armies to come kill her.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think that's the only reason she didn't kill him. Like, she would have killed him if she didn't have 2 dragons and 2 armies sitting at her fucking doorstep. She'd have killed him.
You know what I will say though? I didn't believe that this was playing out the way it was saying to play out. But in my heart, I was like, wouldn't it be really interesting if it did? And it was just like, yep, full 360. Everyone is on the same side now. Wouldn't that be crazy if that happened? I would be like, yo, Game of Thrones, 10 out of 10.
You got me.
Yeah, I mean, could have been. One other thing to mention. We were talking about this earlier, but with Brienne and Jaime, as like when Cersei's leaving, like Brienne and Jaime are talking, and Brienne's like, fuck loyalty, fuck oaths, fuck everything. God damn, I love that scene.
That was big.
Because like she's the person who's all about that shit. And again, me and Payne were talking about it earlier, and man, I was saying that I feel like she's saying that because she knows his past. She knows Jaime's past, and I think she's specifically saying that, being like, you convince her, or you. I think she's saying you kill her, man. Like, I think that's what he's saying, like, or she's saying to him, man, like
remember the Mad King and
remember
how you
the
did
Mad
that?
King, and yeah,
you were right in that.
Exactly,
So do it again.
Exactly. I think that's exactly what she was saying.
Jaime knows how important oaths are to her too, because I believe they had conversations in the past where he's like, "Why are you still trying to save these Stark girls? Their whole family's dead. It's all hopeless. Winterfell's and the Boltons." And she's like, "I have an oath." So for her to say "fuck oaths," and that character that knows Jaime that well had to resonate with him.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, it's just a side tangent. Tyrion's coming back now. He's walking back, and you're like, first you see him, you're like, oh shit, he didn't convince her. And then Cersei comes back, man. She's got her newly outfitted Kingsguard, which y'all notice that, man? They got completely new gear for their Kingsguard. Like, they're not in the.
I didn't notice that. No.
I mean, you didn't notice the Darth Vader looking ass mountain?
Oh, I noticed the Darth Vader.
That's
mountain.
been going on all season though.
Yeah, that's been good.
Has it?
I
Damn,
think
I've been
so. Yeah.
missing that shit
When
all season.
Euron comes into the throne room.
They had that slick ass black armor on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has to be. There's no way that's not like inspired by Darth Vader. There has to be
The mountain for sure.
The mountain. I mean, there has to be a scene. I mean, a behind the scenes thing where like, yeah, we just thought we wanted our own Darth Vader.
Before we get into Cersei coming back, can we touch on the conversation between Jon and Dany while they're waiting?
Yeah, 100%.
Or am I out of order?
No, you're good. Go for
Because
it.
Jon brings up the great point. He's like, hey, not a lot of maesters around, but who exactly told you couldn't have children? And it's like, oh, this witch that I killed all her people and her friends and family and stuff told me. And then so he's like, you ever consider she's not that good of a source of information?
You know, she definitely could have lied. Just saying.
Yeah, I thought that was fucking awesome, yo. Like,
because nobody else has questioned it. Tyrion didn't question it. Everybody just took her word. She's like,
Yeah,
mother
you're
of
right.
dragons, take her word.
Everyone's
and
just
she
like,
took
yep.
the lady's word too, like the witch's word too, and it's like, this bitch hates you. She would say anything. Like, she hates your guts. Yeah, that was huge too. Like, and they've been kind of playing at this like the whole last 2 episodes, and this one, like, we'll get in predictions later, but 100% I think they're gonna have a baby coming next season, yo. And it's gonna throw a fucking wrench because of the boat sex scene later. It's gonna throw a huge wrench because they're gonna boat sex, baby coming, get back to Winterfell, find out he's a Targaryen, and it's just gonna be like, oh well, this is complicated.
If they had a child, it was a male, it would totally cut Dany out of any kind of claim, because then it would go to Jon and then to the male heir, and so she would just be like, only if Jon died, like how Cersei came to power.
I mean, you make the rules when you're the queen, right?
Cersei does.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, and sort of here, because as we were talking last week, like, it almost seemed like he was
She
trying
could
to
just
set
be
up
like,
a
"No, I'm queen."
democracy, so she can make up her own lineage rules.
I'm saying she could just be like, no, I'm the queen because I took over.
But at the same time, he's now the rightful heir. Like, in terms of if we're gonna talk her or him, he's technically the rightful
Rightful, yeah,
heir.
but she could just be like, he could be like, I don't want to be the king, so you rule. And I could definitely see Jon doing that.
Yeah, that's sure. So Tyrion comes back. One quick note on that one. It may not be true. This is like a far-fetched theory, but I'm a little worried that Tyrion's betraying Dany, man.
Really? You think he's betraying Dany? That
I
surprises
was telling
me.
Payne before, like, it just cuts out. Like, we see, so Tyrion and Cersei, they're chatting. They're starting to kind of sort of get along again. I just definitely think Cersei's playing Tyrion here. However, it just cuts. Like, you don't see shit next, and then all of a sudden they're walking out to the dragon pit again. And it's like, what was fucking said that now she's all on board? I mean, obviously she's playing them, but
I mean, I just thought that was like all implied that she agreed to it, and they didn't need to show that scene because it was more bigger impact on the audience if she just walks out and she does that weird happy smile thing. Yeah, okay, I'm sending the armies up with you. But, I mean, maybe, I don't know, I don't see it, but
okay.
It could be.
Moving on. Next we pop up the Winterfell for a quick scene with Sansa and Littlefinger.
Oh, finally. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mess up your amazing Littlefinger impression.
I was sitting on it staring at Josh waiting to.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
We finally get to see the end of this plot line. I'm great. Full for it.
I'm sad. I love
which we
Aiden.
can just talk about Winterfell in general right here. We don't have to specifically just Littlefinger scene. So, I mean, yeah, we got this little scene with Littlefinger and Sansa, and essentially he's teaching her more, you know, which that comes up again in a second, but he's like talking about playing the game, and I don't know, this might be where they figure it out. So, you know, obviously we already know Littlefinger gets killed. Fucking great scene. I love the actor, Aiden, whatever his name is. Fantastic. He's crying like a little bitch. It's so great. And I see Littlefinger crying like a little bitch too, man, because
he makes all these plans and all this whatevering, but you know, like he doesn't generally put himself in danger that often. I feel like he sort of stays on the sidelines, right?
He's literally like always in the side of the hall whenever they're in a great hall.
Yeah,
like,
they're
even
literally
in King's Landing, he's always just been on the side.
Yeah, he just doesn't put himself in the line of fire as much as possible. And the way he played this, even the entire time he's like trying to play him against each other, but he's not doing anything like technically wrong, I don't think.
Yeah, and as we were saying in the last couple episodes, like this had to be the case. Like, I don't know if it's the writing or whatever, like being like bad or good or whatever, but me and Jared at least for sure, and even you were kind of questioning, like, it had to be the case. Like these scenes between Anya and Sons just didn't make sense without them like playing him. Now the question here, I feel like, is where did they start to play him, and where was it serious? I feel like, me personally, I think Arya was going serious at Sansa for a few of those scenes, and even when they started to play, which I'll tell you when I feel like this is when they started to, but even when they started to, like, I still think she was like halfway serious going hard at Sansa just to try and test her, you know, like to test her loyalties and shit like that. But where I think they started to play him was in that specific scene where she found the faces or whatever. I think the whole shit was playing out because like she gave her the dagger at the end. Either that they were playing them there, or that's where it started to realize because she gave her the fucking dagger. Like I felt like that was like 100% clue. Like we're on the same team. Like that's probably where they were like we're on the same team, and that's where Sansa's like, oh shit. And then in this scene, there's also like the Littlefinger Sansa one before they take Arya to the Great Hall.
I have a question about this scene for you guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you think that Arya was wearing Littlefinger's face in this scene? Because when we were watching, ours buffered probably just before he like sat down when he was talking to her, and I was like, these are like Arya's words coming out of his mouth. It seems so weird to me.
I actually did think at that scene, but this is before like Littlefinger dies, obviously, but at that scene, I think I did also. I was like, could that be Arya wearing Littlefinger's face? And then literally, you know, the other scene comes in, and then they're both in the same room at the same time, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
never mind. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I don't think it is because I think he has to be dead. Like, even if there is some more magicalness going to the face thing, I think the person has to be dead. Well, I don't know. We say that, but we definitely see.
No, I don't
it.
think it was at the time.
Yeah, our
that
stream
scene
lagged, and so it was paused, and I like looked at my buddy, and I was like, I really don't like what I think's about to happen. And I thought she was about to pull it off because she was talking all these like. At least I thought it was her words coming out of him because it just didn't sound like him normally.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't actually put that together, but that's pretty fucking awesome too.
Yeah, I had thought of that, but then like I said, then the other scene comes on. I'm like, oh, never mind. Thank God.
Yeah, it turns out he was just being really stupid and then teaching Sansa how to figure out that he's up to no good.
Yeah, because in that scene, I literally just rewatched it and noticed it. She pauses. He says that shit about her wanting to become a lady. He said, Arya wants to become a lady. And Sansa's like literally goes, what? I know my sister to some degree. She don't want to be a lady of anything. And so that could have been the real moment where it was like, all right, you fucked up. You just played your hand and I saw right through it.
Littlefinger, you played yourself.
You played yourself. So I don't know. I don't know when hopefully at some point they'll tell us like how far back they were playing each other or whatever. But
If we didn't get it this episode, we're not going to get that. I don't think. Maybe in the books, if something similar happens, they'll have a more detailed explanation. But I mean, it's fine. We don't necessarily need.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. We do know they were playing them to some degree. So cool. That was fucking awesome. 10 out of 10 for that.
And Littlefinger's death too. Like Arya just goes click.
Right, it's so quick.
And he's just like
Bran sitting in the
bleeding out.
background, like I don't give a shit. And
that's how I knew. That's how I knew in that scene that Arya wasn't gonna be dead though. It was because Bran was there.
Yeah.
I feel like Bran would in no way be like, all right, I'm cool with this.
Yeah, and all the other like Northern Kings and shit too. Like, if she was gonna kill her, she wouldn't like kill her like that. Like, they would be in some back alley shit about Littlefinger hire some assassins or some shit. Love the scene though. Love the acting. He was mumbling and crying like a little bitch. I thought that was awesome as fuck. Cause I feel like that's exactly how he would do it. Like, cause the other scene where we see him almost half like fucking die or get captured is back in like season 1 or 2 with Cersei, and Cersei's like shows him like this is real power. And takes him by the guards. He starts like whining like a little bitch there too. Like, you see it on his face, yeah. So like I felt it was so good.
I loved how unprepared he was. I burst out laughing when she accused him, and his first words were like at like 4 times speed. He's like, "Lady Sansa, forgive me, please. I'm looking for you." He's like, I was so unprepared for all of this.
His actors, like I paused the scene and rewinded it for Jerry because like right when she says Lord Baelish. And like his eyes are just that, huh?
He's like, oh no,
crap! Everyone's looking at me now.
Yeah, it's so good, man.
Yeah, what if they just did that? They were like, they told him that Arya was gonna die in that scene, and then Sansa was like, Lord, and he was like, what? Oh, fuck! I gotta do a death scene.
Dude, that would be awesome. And then he just did that shit where just like right off the bat, low key.
I love those stories when they just surprise the actors like that.
Next, we go to Dragonstone. They're all they're all back at Dragonstone now, and we have a little moment with Theon, Jon and Theon.
Right, I'm having trouble remembering exactly what all that happens at Dragonstone, but I do remember Theon in like the throne room or something stops Jon, and he's like, "Sorry" or something. What does he?
Well, since they have a touching moment,
Yeah, they have a moment where he's like.
He's like, Jon, how do you always know the right thing to do? He's
right.
like, he's like, I've been struggling, like obviously as you know, and then Jon's like, yeah, we know, like, yeah, you're fucked up.
But then Jon's like, I don't always do the right. You think I do, but I don't always know the right thing. I don't always do the right thing. And he tells him, like, you are a Greyjoy, but you're also a Stark, and it's also cool because it's going to lead up to what we find out next episode, or he'll find out next episode is you're also a Stark and you're also a Targaryen. So I think that parallel that will eventually, I guess, be a parallel is fucking dope. Theon finally, because like book 1, Theon was whatever. He was there. I thought he was okay. Then you start to fucking hate Theon after book, whenever he betrays him. And then you start to feel fucking bad for Theon. And now I'm kind of rooting for Theon to get his fucking dick back. And save Yara, which is essentially what he's going to do. He's going to try and save Yara, and I hope he succeeds. I hope he takes out Euron. I hope he's the one that kills Euron. There's magic in this world, but I don't think there's any like dick growing back.
Yeah, I was
magic
I
in
don't
this
think we're
world.
gonna have literally.
It's a figure of speech here.
I know.
It leads with him. Then he's like, yeah, and then Jon's like, what the fuck are you still doing here? Go save Yara. And he's like, yeah, I'm doing it. Comes out to the beach, and all his little leftover Greyjoys are about to fucking bounce. They heard that's what's up with the White Walkers? They can't swim. And Theon's
they had a great plan. They're like, let's just go to some island with a bunch of beauties, kill all their husbands, and just live there. And I'm like, nice, let's go.
That's a good plan.
I'm on board.
It's fucked up, but it's a good plan, I guess. And Theon comes down, bro. He's like, nah, we want to save Yara. Yara's our queen. And I guess Iron Islanders. Some people didn't really like that scene, but I guess that's what the Iron Islanders do. They just fight it out, and whoever wins is the leader, and everyone has to follow.
It makes sense to me. I mean, they're very like
he fights
Viking
the guy
/ pirate people. So
he fights the guy that saves him, getting his ass fucking beat.
Yeah, he's getting his ass beat, and then
gets kicked in kneed in the dick like 3 times.
Like 3 times.
Which again, would
he's
still
like smiling at him. He's like, I'm
still
fucking
has to hurt,
terrible.
right?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. It still has to
3
hurt.
times. Oh, they should have done it twice, and then he should have got him real quick. It was kind of like overdrawn to me.
I also think that Theon should have
I thought it was overdrawn too.
I also think Theon should have got at least 1 punch in before the dick part. Like, give Theon a little bit before that part. But I will say I loved his acting in that. Like, when he's getting kneed in the dick and he's just fucking smiling.
He's like,
so good.
You don't even know. Yeah.
Oh, man. That was pretty awesome. Also, what happened on Dragonstone is they talk about the boat thing. So, like, they They're talking about going to Winterfell, so they're all going to go to Winterfell. Winterfell, I guess, for the next scene is probably going to be one of some big fight scene. That's going to be where they're going to be held up. And Daenerys, you should fly. Or Jorah's like, Daenerys, you should fly there. John's like, you should take a boat with me. Jorah's like, nah, she should fly. Daenerys like, you should fly. She's like, I think I'm going to take a boat. And
yeah, they're trying to convince her to fly because it'll be safer for her, is what they say. You guys are saying they just didn't want her on the boat with John. If you look at
the face, man, you can, especially with Jorah, you can tell, bro. Jorah's like, fuck, they're fucking.
But John's like, your choice, but if you want to be like a woman of the people, you should probably not fly around on your magical dragon everywhere or something. You should come with me. It'll look better.
Right. John was being smooth, man. He's like, I'm gonna get you on this boat. I already got plans. After King's Landing, I know what needs to happen. So he's sliding into the DMs.
But before we get the scene of their boat sex, right? We get the Bran and Samuel Tarly scene, right?
It's all happening together.
We'll get there.
Okay. That happens later? Both of those happen later?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Technically in the order, they both happen later. First, we go back to King's Landing for the, I guess, like the final, sort of the final time, I guess, whatever. We had the scene with Jaime and Cersei. Jaime's up there, like, telling his dudes, like, all right, let's get ready. We're going north. Cersei's like, what the fuck are you doing, yo? Like, you're the dumbest Lannister ever.
He's like, not
and
cool.
he's like, bitch, no, you're the dumbest ever. We just saw an undead.
So that's what I was talking about when I was saying, did I say the one here or was I talking before? When I said that Cersei's, like, pushing him away and treating him like shit for this whole season, she's kind of just like, well, maybe not the whole season, but at least the end, she's just like, you dummy, you're so dumb, I hate you. She's really mean to him, which is not what you'd expect she's trying to, like, hold his loyalty. She's just, like, trying to push him away almost is what I feel. Or maybe she just feels like she can.
I think she's just fucking gone crazy, you know? I thought Jaime was gonna fucking die here for real. Holy shit.
Yeah, I thought she nods at the mountain like, go ahead, kill him.
I'm assuming that she's, like, talked to the mountain before and, you know, how she gives commands to him or whatever, and it's like, if I ever nod, that means pull your sword, but don't swing.
Yeah, like threaten him.
Yeah, like threaten. So she gave him the nod. He goes to threaten, and I totally thought Jaime was fucking dead. I was like, holy shit.
I'm more into they're bound by will. Like, the mountain is bound to Cersei's will. But, of course, there was that scene earlier where I guess you might be right because that earlier scene. There's that scene earlier where she tells the order of the kill in the dragon pit. And so it's might be probably more likely, but there's got to be something there, though, you know?
I mean, there definitely could be, for sure. Either way, she nods, and I thought that motherfucker was done. I was so mad because Jaime is probably my favorite character, actually. He's certainly one of my top 3 favorite characters.
Very tense scene.
And I was like, fuck, Jaime's dead.
This is also where we found out that Euron was actually going to get the gold company.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he was playing them the whole time.
And Jaime brought up the point, is someone still going to win in the north and come down here to kill us?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what we were talking, like, she's insane, man. Like, he's like, do you not understand? Somebody is going to, either the dead are winning and they're going to come down and kill us, or the living are going to win and they're going to come down and kill us. And she's just like, I have the Golden Company coming. Like, who fucking cares? I feel like it's what Jaime is like trying to yell at her.
She only has 2
like,
dragons now.
It's like,
where'd the other one go?
And Jaime's still like, she fucked me up with 1 dragon. That means she's still got 1 more than she needs.
And she's got the one that fucked us up too.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, are you, like, insane?
I wonder what they think about that. Because they aren't told that they lost it to the north of the wall. Like, what do they think happened to it?
I think Jaime's going to find out when he goes north.
Yeah. Well, they don't know about it yet, I don't think. I don't think they've got any ravens sent to them yet from the wall.
Well, I mean, they're not going to send the ravens south and be like, yeah, our dragon got killed by the north White Walkers.
Bran saw it at the end of the season, so, like, Winterfell's going to know. Instantly.
Yeah, Winterfell will know. I'm sure they'll know next season. I just mean, like, at the meeting, they
I actually
didn't know.
forgot that Bran was the one that technically saw that, because when I was thinking about it, I was like, Tormund's definitely alive, Tormund Bear, because I was like, they're gonna be the ones that run to Winterfell to tell them. But you're right, Bran was actually watching that, so they already fucking know. I still think Tormund and Beric are gonna be alive though, because they, like you were saying, they would have shown it on screen if they were dead.
Yeah, I think so. It's a great scene where Jaime decides, I said I was gonna march or go north. I'm gonna go north, whether you want me to or not. And he goes. That being said, a little disappointed that we never got our Jaime kill Cersei death.
Not yet. I mean, I don't think they're actually going to meet up again. I think that's it for them. They're done. They're split. And I think part of it was just because also she kept him out of the loop too. She's like, "You're fucking conspiring with Euron's crazy ass. You're not even telling me."
The general of
Yeah,
their
The
armies.
general, your lover and brother.
I can't be any closer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, you're not telling me. Like, oh man. So I think he was just like, "All right, you're fucking insane."
Well, like
I'm
I said,
done."
she pushed him away. I mean, I don't. Yeah, it's crazy, but
And as we find out, he's technically actually a really honorable man. He's like, "I made a fucking promise. I'm going north. Fuck you." She's like, "I'm gonna kill you." Blah blah blah. He leaves. Snow starts falling. Awesome.
I was gonna say, you made the point. Is he taking his troops with him? Is he getting some troops?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about it. Like, we see him going north, but he's technically, I guess, like the leader of Castle Rock now. You know, like she's the queen. He's the commander of Castle Rock. So, and he was already talking to some of those bannermen and shit like that. So he might, like, before he goes north, go west and collect some bannermen and stuff. So I don't know if he'll actually be going north alone. He might actually get, 5,000 troops or something to come north with him.
And one good brawn, hopefully.
And one good brawn, hopefully. And Podrick will still be with him. Like, they left on the ship already?
The smash.
yeah.
Like, they left me?
We'll see. I don't know. You got to think he's saying he'll march north because he made the promise, but he didn't like that taking troops with him necessarily. I mean, maybe he'll do it. He won't be that useful maybe if he goes north without troops though. He is a general. Like he is very experienced, so maybe he will. I don't know.
I mean,
We'll see.
you're right. He's a general, and they don't really have a good one of those right now. They got Jorah back now, but even him, like, he's not going to be as good as Jaime.
Probably the most experienced commander in Westeros off the top of my head. Commander, at least.
Jorah or
I think he's talking about Jaime.
Jaime?
Jaime, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, agreed.
Well, all the experienced ones are getting fucking murdered.
Getting burned
All like
alive.
old men who are getting murdered. Yeah.
We go back to Winterfell for probably my second favorite scene of this entire episode, which is between old Sam and Bran. Sam and Bran.
Yeah.
Bran and Bran. God, so close. But Sam sitting there, Bran sitting there looking at the fire. Sam comes in. He's
Samuel Tarly.
Samuel Tarly. He's like back in Winter, and Bran's like, "You're a good guy.
You're good.
And I love how he's like, "Well,
How did you survive?
I'm not
north
that
of the
good."
wall?
He's like, "I'm not that good," and Brad just like doesn't correct him. He's like, "Okay, obviously a little off." Sam's like right off the bat, and he asks how he survives north of the wall. He's like, "I'm the three-eyed raven."
Yeah. Sam's like,
"Okay."
yeah. He's just like, I don't really know what that means. and Brad's like,
I love this.
I know
scene.
everything. That's what it means.
Yeah,
I
know-
see the past. I see the present. I see the future.
No, he doesn't. He does.
Yeah.
He definitely clarifies that he
Yeah,
can't
you're
see
right.
the future in the scene. That he sees the past and the present, and
Which
he's
is
like,
weird, because when he had those visions from season 6, he like saw the Sept of Baelor blowing up and a dragon flying over King's Landing, and he saw like a couple of future things. It was weird.
Maybe he can see the future.
maybe he can't see the future clearly. Maybe those
Yeah,
come
yeah.
as like random visions or something.
That's true. I think it was when he was holding onto a weirwood tree, and there's something about the trees being able to go through all time. So maybe
Yeah,
it's with the tree.
Yeah, so maybe without the tree, he could just see anywhere every time. But with the trees, he can maybe see the future a little bit.
Either way, he gets something he didn't know in this scene.
Yeah, they're talking, and Brand's being like, "I'm all knowing and everything. I got to tell John he's
John
John
Sand.
Sand." And Sam's like, "Nah," and he's like, and I love he like belittles Sam. Is like, "Sam, when they're in the door, there's Sands."
I don't know if you know how our society works, Sam, but
And he's like, no, I read this Master Aemon or Master whatever, some Maester, and he annulled the marriage. He's a fucking Targaryen, bro. So we find out he was paying attention with the Gilly thing, and he steals like Gilly's information, which is kind of fucked up. Like Gilly didn't find out anything except this one thing. That and how
was
many?
she gonna tell Bran?
I guess that's true. He tells him, and that, so oh shit. He's like, and I love how he's like, I know everything. Tells him this. He's like, wait, what? He's like, you don't know this? No. So he has to go back and sees the vision, and also love the part when he's like, John and them are coming north. He's like, you saw that in a vision? He like holds up the scroll. No, it's the scroll.
Oh yeah, that was
That
great.
was so good,
dude. He's like, well, you're being a dick now, man.
Yeah,
you saw
like,
that in the vision?
Bray was
No, I
such
just-
like a clever, funny little dick in this. Like it was so funny. But then he's like, he goes back in time or whatever to see the marriage, and he realizes that this whole war, this whole thing that started 50 years ago, which led to the rebellion or whatever, started off of a fucking lie. Rhaegar and Lyanna were, happy together. He wasn't out raping her and fucking, whatever. Like, they wanted to be together. They're getting married. Jon's true name is Aegon Targaryen, and all this is going on interlaced with the fact with Jon, now Targaryen, with Daenerys Targaryen having fucking great boat sex incest scene.
Yeah, like
yes.
That's what I was about to say. Specifically, I think they specifically show first that they're related. They confirm that they're related, and then they show the sex scene. I think that's just to be like, just so you don't see the sex scene, and then they're like, oh yeah, what you just watched was two like blood relatives boning.
They wanted you to know.
They wanted you to
they
know
are
you were
related
watching.
while you're watching them fuck.
Great parallel how everybody, I mean, you just literally cheered for it and then leaned back. Everybody at the start of the show, episode 1, was like, ew, incest. They pushed a kid out of a tower. That's not good. And now we're like, yes, incest.
Yeah,
I'm sure there are plenty of people who are like, gross, but I'm like,
no, there definitely are. There's a lot of people out there.
Must not
like,
be on the internet.
I've seen other reviewers and people, and they're like, ugh, gross. I feel like these people are fucking faking. Like, they even cheering like this shit too. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Like, we finally got fire and ice. Let's do this.
Like, they're fucking whatever, man. Targaryens are always doing incest things together. This is also back in a time where that's like more common. Like, even if it is just whatever disgusting, like Jon and Daenerys are meant to be together. I guess.
I mean, I've been predicting that for a little while, so it's great that it's finally happened. What's next?
I was making sure this was still in this episode. Arya and Sansa on Winterfell's battlements.
Yeah, that was what I was just about to go to next. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just making sure it was in this episode because I was having trouble remembering if it was last episode or this episode.
Oh, yeah. So, like, after this scene, you kind of go up to Arya and Sansa on top of the wall or whatever. Not the big wall, but Winterfell's wall. They have, like, a touching little moment. Like, bond over killing Littlefinger. And
Sansa tells her she's the strongest person she knows.
Yeah, and she's like, you never told me, essentially, they bond, like, Sansa says, you're the strongest person I know. She's like, Arya's like, that's the nicest comment you've ever said to me.
Get used to it.
You're super strong. You're the lady. I'm the assassin.
Things might be looking better. Wait a second. We're going north of the wall. Oh, shit. What's going on up here?
Yeah. You see these ravens flying out fucking north of the wall, and they're looking down. I guess they could say they're looking down on Tormund and Beric on top of the East Watch wall, and you see these fucking undead start coming. It's like, shit.
3 horns.
Yeah, 3 horns going off, and it's like quiet or whatever, and then boom, dragon. Viserion comes out, blue eyes, white dragon. I call you. He's fucking zooming, bruh. This dude is
fast dragon
on fucking speed.
He's super fast, and he can blow fire way longer than any dragon I've ever seen in this show.
When we were discussing last week what he's gonna be capable of, the first thing I saw, I was like, okay, he can fly. He can fly and fly.
And he does have a few holes in his wings, too. He's just like, whatever.
And he breathes something stronger than
fire.
I
think they're saying, like, it's the magic, the magic's, like, holding, like, gives him these extra things, like, because they're also talking about the fire, like,
he blows.
But he can blow fire. It's like the magic, the Night King's magic, like, self-contains him, so he can do that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because, he's doing things that he should be able to do, I think, physically from what we've established. I think you're right. It's just like a magic thing where the Night King is able to make this dragon like 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's also why his flame is blue. Well, it's hotter. But essentially, like he makes him 2.0.
Is that one dragon worth 2 dragons, though? I don't know.
That dragon melted an 8,000-year-old wall in about 80 seconds or less.
I think that was more magical, though. It didn't look like he was actually, like, melting it as much as he was, like, breaking the magic to me of the wall. So once he just did that, the wall just started to crumble, it looked like.
Yeah. Which is just kind of like, one thing I really loved about this episode is kind of like a callback to earlier episodes that might have been plot holes or even earlier scenes and things like this, time frames that could have been plot holes or whatever, like seasons. Like, where's the Night King being? Why is he hasn't pushed south of the wall this whole time? In 8,000 years, why has he not pushed south of the wall? He's been there technically, I think, the whole time. And I think the reason is and so I was talking about season 7, episode 6 having some plot holes with them being north of the wall and shit, and why the Night King was like letting them wait there and things like this. I think his whole plan was to draw Dany over with the dragons. I think he needed the dragon to break the wall. Like, he couldn't get through the wall without. He needed some powerful magic that was like fire based, essentially, to melt the fucking wall. Like,
you might be right. I think Payne. I don't remember if you brought this up in the podcast or we were talking about it after, but you were the one who said the guy's like a green seer or warden or whatever. So he might be able to see what's going on and be like, oh,
Right.
I'm just waiting for the dragon to come up here.
I've talked more with people about that I've read a lot too, and it might not be so much as that, but the Night King is a magical entity and can sense other magical presences, could also be a kind of thing. And so, especially when maybe if he can't see, maybe when he saw two people that were resurrected from the dead, and like they probably definitely feel different magically to him than whites do. He was like, all right, there's something up with these guys, and knew something about it. But yeah, I was saying last week it was probably a plan because, I mean, there's been many winters of varying lengths and nothing has ever gotten through, and it's kind of like this has been a very long summer that allowed the Night King to grow so powerful, and he was still waiting around, even though it was one of the most powerful they've been.
Yeah, I think you might be. It seems to shore up some plot holes and stuff like that. And it works. I think it works to say that he was waiting and he knew about the dragons and his whole plan, or at least this part of the plan, bring up a dragon. We're gonna get ourselves a dragon so we can take down the wall. And he got it, and we saw the end of that.
Torment and Beric are hopefully still alive.
I don't want to see him go like that.
Yeah.
Hey, where's Gendry at right now?
That man's resting from his run, bruh.
He's just sitting in the like. Is he at the wall?
He's probably, well, I mean, it hasn't showed him. My guess is he's at Dragonstone.
I think we saw the only people there when we saw Beric and Tormund. I feel like they would have made it.
I'm pretty sure
clear.
he's at Dragonstone with them. He might not have went south with them, but he's probably back. They went back to Dragonstone. Now he's going to go with them north because he's definitely going to be there as we kind of get into predictions for the next season. Definitely going to be there when they go north to see Arya.
I was about to say, I saw a meme where it's like, how did Gendry run so fast? And it's like Jon telling him, Arya's home alone.
Oh man!
So maybe he's making his way back to Winterfell, you know?
Yeah. So what'd y'all think of the episode? What would you give the episode rating?
9 out of 10, I think.
I think I'm gonna go with 9 out of 10 as well.
I'm usually one to give it 10 out of 10. I'm trying to think if anything bothered me. I'll go 9.5 because I wish we could have seen more of what Tyrion and Cersei said. I feel like we weren't shown something there.
Yeah, I felt like that as well, which is partially why I gave it one. Because I really wanted to give it a 10 out of 10, actually. I super enjoyed it. This might have been, well, the fourth episode was probably the best episode of the season. But this probably, I think, was the second best, in my opinion.
You know what? 10 out of 10. Because it was well shot and well produced.
All right, whatever. 10 out of 10.
It was long. A lot of stuff happened. Maybe not everything was as exciting as I wanted it to be, but a lot of great stuff happened.
Wait a minate. I'm going to go 0 out of 10 because now I can't impersonate Littlefinger next season.
That's a good point.
Those are some good
That amazing impression is now worthless. Damn.
What do y'all have on here as well? What do y'all give the season as a whole? Or where does it compare to other seasons to y'all?
It's we're gonna look back on it, like you said. I think a reunion season's a great term. We're gonna be like, this was a great season for fan service and good dialogue between characters that we hadn't had before. And a lot of people meeting back up, Tyrion and Pod and Bran and Jon and Tyrion and all these, Jon and Theon, all these characters that are a big theme, these cripples, bastards, and broken things, all meeting back up and playing a big role. Hopefully Tyrion's role gets a little better because he farted the bed this season hard.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He sucked butt, as I wrote in my notes.
But again, maybe he had to step down for other characters to move up. Because we've been following a pretty awesome Tyrion for a while, I think.
Which they kind of do as well, like in general on the show. Like if you look at Varys and Littlefinger,
That's a good
the
point.
last couple
Both of them.
seasons they've been kind of down a notch.
What has Varys even been doing this entire
I think
time?
literally
He's
Just
just
like
like,
his hands in his sleeves.
he read one note that was sent to Jon, and that was it.
Like, where are your spiders at, bro?
What'd you think?
I thought it could have been a lot better, but I've been waiting for these last couple seasons, so man, I am stoked for it. Because like as the other seasons went along, getting up towards like season 5, I read all the books, so it wasn't too much new shit for me. Like obviously, especially start with season 2, they don't follow exactly like the book. Season 1's almost exactly like the book, but the rest of it doesn't follow exactly. But it's things I kind of had already seen
Or suspected.
How did you feel as a book reader when it might have been season 5 when we first saw the Land of Always Winter, and how White Walkers were made with Craster's baby? That was something that was never really in the books before. It wasn't a lot about that.
Yeah, I don't remember that from the book actually.
That's because it wasn't much about it. It was kind of like the
It's been a while
first
since I read the
glance.
books, but the question for me there is like, do they age normally? Like, so are
Right.
all those White Walkers like, are they
Little
aging
babies?
rapidly, or like does he pop in with the magic and then they like grow up in like fucking 1 year?
'Cause I think we
I feel like they're
started
all
with
really old. Am I wrong in saying that all White Walkers
Maybe
that we've
there's-
seen are old?
Yeah, but maybe it's like a fucking home, bro. Maybe it's like we don't see it, but they have like a fucking base.
he grows up like the Rick from episode 6 where he shoots it and comes out as a baby and instantly grows up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Spoilers. I mean, sort of, but it's a cool thing.
yeah. I mean, there might be, like I said, there might be something like maybe they got a base, man. They got like a little cathedral up north that's made out of ice, like fucking Superman's lair or some shit.
I doubt we're gonna get that answer.
I don't think we're
Well,
gonna
they
get that
do.
answer
It's
either.
called The Land of Always Winter. It was in season 5.
Oh,
We saw it.
Shit, damn.
That's
bro.
what I was asking. You were prepared for
So
that.
then I guess are there more White Walkers up there? Maybe like the babies are being
But yeah,
raised
that
up.
was kind of my point, because I think we started with 13. Sam killed 1, John killed 2, but we saw at least 1 get turned, a baby get turned. So, but then it's the pacing. How long does it take them to become useful? And I mean, technically, are they even that? Besides the Night King, are the White Walkers even that powerful? Seems like they
They're
keep getting
definitely-
bested by
I feel
John.
like, yeah, I was about to say
John,
John's
like,
been
murks
fucking
him.
them up, but I think I mean, because I remember I rewatched season 1 again like a couple weeks ago. Man, that first episode,
first
they are
scene.
fast, bro. Like they
Yeah.
are super fast.
yeah. I remember that.
That's a big difference from how we kind of see
Yeah.
them later.
I remember when they were like.
I mean, they could have just been multiple and they were swarming around.
It
or
was
whatever,
like when
but-
you meet somebody a different power level than you in Dragon Ball Z. They were just like, and I'm behind you. Like, it was crazy fast,
Well,
right?
maybe what we don't realize and they just don't showcase is John's power level's over 9,000, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
John came back from the dead, and as we all know, Super Saiyans always get more powerful
When they come back from the dead.
when they almost die or
That's
die.
a really good point.
Yeah, so maybe that's why he's the one always fighting the White Walkers, man. Because
We're gonna see like everybody like looking at them, and they're just zooming
Yeah,
around.
that's what I was about to
but
say.
then John is zooming around too.
we only see from John's perspective every time they fight the White Walkers, and in reality, like if we get a perspective from like Jorah in that one scene last episode, he like looks over and those two are just like fucking zooming through like fucking space and time, like speed
Like
wise.
mountains are blowing up and shit.
Yeah. In reality, there's like a DBZ fight going on. Oh man, that would be great. So
Yeah, I wonder how much stuff has changed from the old seasons. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
I don't know, man,
that's
because like.
interesting.
And just on your question on how many there are, I don't know, man. Like, I don't even know if that's like a relevant question even to say. Like, obviously, there's not like
it's like however many
thousands
they choose, probably.
But like you were talking about the home they have. Like, how many are like little babies back there growing up, or did they just grow up? Maybe there's like fucking 100 back there raising some little baby White Walkers.
I think it'll be like however many they need to put on screen.
That's my question. I
Is how
think so
many.
too.
Yeah.
I think he's just got like his commanders and the armies, and like there's probably more somewhere out just doing their own thing or something.
The whole plot is probably just we're gonna have as many as we need, and then after that it's over. As far as how I look at this season versus other seasons, I don't really remember the other seasons that well, but I really liked it. This is a great season overall. I like shorter seasons in general, anyways, even though you miss some stuff and you do get some plot holes. In general, I like things that are like 8 episodes and stuff. Maybe like another episode or 2 would have been nice, but
Definitely say that I feel like this definitely deserved an extra couple episodes.
I mean, but it's normally like 10. That's not bad.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But-
It's not bad with 10. Yeah, just give it its full 10.
Still, I'm okay with it. And next season, we're gonna get like 2-hour episodes that are.
Not 2 hours, but
Oh.
feature length. People that I've seen on like Reddit and shit we're talking about, that probably means they're about an hour and a half. Probably about how long this last episode was.
I'm excited to wrap this Game of Thrones up, to be honest, which is probably a weird sentiment, but I'm ready for it to like the big ending.
See the whole thing.
I'm ready
yeah.
for it to end and like have a whole big.
Yeah, I mean it's been like 8 damn years now at this point or something.
Talk about since the beginning the writing though, like 20 years, and the whole time it's been going on, most people have been wondering. It's like, well, it's gonna end one of two ways: really sad with the White Walkers in charge, or kind of maybe with some people alive at the
I've
end.
heard it's gonna be bittersweet.
So to me that means
Which
the White
makes me
Walkers
think
will
is-
lose,
Yeah.
but we're gonna lose a lot of people along the way.
What it makes me think is the White Walkers will lose, but goddamn Cersei's gonna win, and I'm gonna be
Hey,
so
I
pissed
remember.
off.
I told you guys she would sit the throne at this end of the season, and y'all were both so convinced. And then things
I
started
wanted
turning,
it.
and they all started going north. And I was like, "Hey,
On that note, I have a note here. So This is kind of like a crazy theory. So it's out there. Cersei is still alive at the end of the season, which I was hoping she'd be dead. Jaime is now, he's finally realized she's a fucking lunatic. But instead of killing her like I was hoping she would do, he just fucking rolls out. He's going north. So for the whole prophecy, like, who's going to kill her, Like, I know you were saying that it doesn't necessarily say this in the TV show, but I still think it's going to be something like that. Like, it's going to be some sort of, at least, metaphor. So, on that note, I think she is actually pregnant, and she's going to die from the baby, yo. I had a little funny thing enacted in my head, and that Tyrion was going to pop out her womb.
What? Why would how insane is that? What?
I mean, like an imp. But it was going to be like an imp with Tyrion's face. Like, that's how I imagined it.
It would
in
be
my
like
head.
crazy poetic if she does have a kid and it is like a imp, like a little one. She finally gets another baby and she's like like what she hates pretty much because of Tyrion.
Yeah,
she really is due. I mean, they were like 3 for 3 on children that we know about, and when the Targaryens were mating, like there was always a lot of babies between like Rhaegar and Daenerys were very far apart in age because there were so many that were imps and didn't like make it and failed pregnancies and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a good point, and like incest is generally bad genetically, so.
Oh yeah, the Targaryens are probably much farther down than Cersei and Jaime are.
That's true, but
I kind of now want to look up incest. Like, is that weird?
I now want to look up insects.
Well, I mean, like the genetic defects and things like that. Yeah, like the scientific, like what the fuck happened? Because like people always tell you, like incest is bad,
It
whatever.
fucked you up genetically.
But like I've never actually looked up what
Babies, I mean.
happens and shit like that. So that would be kind of cool to look up. Maybe I'll do that between this next season to see how Jon and Daenerys' baby is going to turn out. The one that was prophesized.
Ooh, I have a complaint for this season.
Go for it.
Jon should have Ghost at his side at all times, and Ghost was not even in the damn season.
100%
Unless
agree
I
with
missed
you.
him.
No, you're right. 100% agree with you. Everyone pretty much says this because of the budget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard this that it's just a
You saw them
budgetary.
dragons.
I'm right. They could have took off a couple scales.
I heard.
Ghosts don't need much.
It's basically a big dog. I mean,
I heard that it was literally like, do you want dragons or do you want ghosts? And I was like, I guess I'll take dragons.
I heard that as well. And but to that measurement or to that note, I was sitting there thinking the same thing. Like, dragons and a fucking big dog is two different things. Like, how much editing
you
does
gotta
it really
do
take for a big
CGI
dog just to
probably.
walk around with them?
You got to do CGI either way, I think.
Yeah, I guess so, man.
I don't
Plus-
think it's just a big
Have
dog.
we not come
plus
far
like
enough?
the entire Battle of the Bastards was CGI, so like there's a lot more than just the dragons too. I guess
Yeah, true. So I was with you too. The whole season was like, where the fuck is this?
that's a big thing that readers I feel like are so mad about because it's like you would not be going on all these scary ass missions without your dire wolf.
No, you wouldn't for sure. Quick thing. Why Tyrion is so upset on the boat? Questions.
I liked what you were thinking, where he just thinks this is a complication. Like this is something that they didn't need to be allies, but it certainly makes things more complicated now that they are.
Yeah. We're not even necessarily allies. Just like them getting together, like complicates the shit out of things. Because if it ends badly, or any number of things can happen, it makes things more difficult. So I think that's what it was. I don't think it's anything more nefarious. Than
And
that.
it messes up Tyrion's plan to be the successive heir. No, I'm just.
I think
Does-
is that what he's been planning this whole time? I don't know. I don't know why he would be upset. I feel like he would be like, "Oh, this makes sense. This will be good because now the North and the Queen will get together and
Bruh.
it's a big army."
Bruh. But how crazy would it be if the end of the season, next season comes, Cersei is actually in fact dead, and the Night King's dead, and Tyrion ends up on the throne, but joke's on us, Tyrion was actually the evil mastermind between all of this the entire time. It was actually the worst fucking character. It'll like they'll just have like a 20-minute segment of showcasing where he like pissed on somebody's face and cut their head off. It's just some fucked up shit. You're like, whoa, Tyrion was fucking evil. Holy shit.
Actually, I was playing all of you the whole time. You bought into my plan. God, that would be crazy and dumb, but
How dare you call me whatever.
I kind of like that because let's what's next? Anything is predictions.
Sure, yeah. I mean, this is all kind of
Okay.
based on that. Just this is a
A
prediction.
big
segment.
part of George R. R. Martin's stories is the crippled bastards and broken things. That's why Tyrion, Jon play such a big role. Theon's coming up. A lot of these Jaime's redemption. What of which of these characters do you think has like the best chance to rule?
two
Sam Tarley.
that would be good, or two rule? What do you
Two
mean?
rule, because I feel like George R. R. Martin he kind of wants to pick one of those people.
He
Like
wants
one
to
of
pick a
these side
bastard
characters.
or a broken person.
Yeah. Which my guess would be John.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was about to say. I think somebody was talking about Danny probably dying. Like I think one of y'all said that. Like
I just want it to happen.
yeah, I
'cause
mean I think
she's
it's
got-
a good chance she might die actually, and John just like I think there's a good chance John's like I don't want to be king. They defeat the Night King or whatever, and he just essentially gets pushed into the role. He's not gonna really want to be in it. He's gonna get pushed into it. And, he's just going to be king. That's probably how I feel like it's going to end up. I don't know if that's 100% true. Like, I still think there is definitely, like you were saying, a chance that Cersei might end up on the throne at the end. It's like, ugh.
Who's going to be on the throne is obvious. And it is a bastard. A broken man who is now gaining his inheritance. Gendry, motherfucking Baratheon. Well,
I'm okay
once
with
he gets
that.
legitimized.
That was
somehow.
that was a person I forgot when I was making that point about John rallying the banners. He has Gendry in the Stormlands, Sam in the Riverlands, and the Vale is technically Sansa's, I guess. Now.
I think it's Sansa's, right? I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm kind of wondering what's gonna happen with Robb and Aaron. Is he just gonna be like, Uncle Peter?
Uncle Peter.
What happened?
Now you have to do the little finger.
Well,
Oh, don't worry, Aaron.
I brought you a gift.
well, once Arya steals Littlefinger's face and rules the bell.
There you go.
I mean, that could be very true. She could
Aaron solving
go
problems.
play Littlefinger to Robin Aaron and essentially steals the belt.
I for next season, one of my things was hoping she would go south and meet with Cersei as Littlefinger.
Yeah, I also saw people talking about that and was thinking that would be cool too. But there's so many people that saw him die. Like, I mean, they are all north of Naaman. That word might travel. That could fuck her.
Hey, North keeps the lips sealed, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
tight
right.
knit crew.
Well,
over
I
there.
mean, it is also the fucking. I mean, you saw the storm at the end, right over Winterfell. It's just intense. There's not gonna be too many birds flying around anymore. There's not gonna be too many people traveling around anymore. Like, it's gonna be. They're gonna be all closed nip. So
Plus,
you could
if
be right.
Littlefinger shows up after Littlefinger being killed, maybe you just be like, "Oh, he didn't die. Those were false reports."
Very true, because she's not. She might not believe the whole. She don't know shit about a faceless man, probably.
why? This is really random. You guys might be prepared. Why in Tyrion's plan did they need to prove to Cersei that White Walkers are real and not the Citadel? Why didn't they go to Old Town instead?
Or at least why do they have one or two of the maesters come? Right? They didn't.
Right.
They weren't there.
Oh, they
Invite
never
the
even had-
Maesters.
That's crazy. They should have done that.
Because Qyburn's not really a Maester. He's just a fucking mad scientist.
Yeah, he's a.
He doesn't care about the good of the people. He's not going to be like sending ravens back to the Citadel.
And if they did, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't
believe him
open
in it.
them.
Yeah, they hate Qyburn, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. That's kind of a plot hole. They definitely should have just invited as many people as they could have, really, to maybe not normal people, but at least like
The Maesters Council should have,
representatives.
they had the 3 tents. There should have been at least 2 little side back tents with a bunch of fucking Maesters.
I think that was it. They couldn't
Maybe
fit them
someone
on
from
the
the
stage.
Iron Bake over there, just let them know what's going
Yeah,
on.
like, hey, Iron Bank people.
Mycroft, have Mycroft.
Yeah, Mycroft, he needs some more time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. What do y'all think in stores for Jamie, man, when he gets north? Whether it's with a little bit of an army or not. I mean, like, he's about to go up north. He's going to be like, oh, by the way, my sister betrayed y'all. Yeah, I did push Bran out that window. Yeah,
Well,
that was me. Yeah, I did just lead all these armies against you. Yeah.
I saw something before I came over where, you know how Bran had that awkward reunion with Sansa about talking about a rape? He's going to be like, Jamie, you look so pretty when you pushed me out that window.
You were very sweaty when you pushed me out
I
that
miss
window.
your long hair.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think Bran's just going to jump in and be like, he's honorable. And then he's going to be with the
I think
army.
Bran vouches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's
I
what's
feel
gonna
like
happen.
Bran being the three-eyed raven is just going to be like he's not even going to associate his crippling with Jamie anymore. Like he won't even care about it.
I think their reaction to Cersei is going to be like, all right, cool. We'll deal with that later, I guess. But good to have you.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to be like, we're fucked. Like, that's going to be Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Like I said, from the beginning, man, they should have just torched that bitch from the beginning. I love Cersei, and I hate her. I hate her, and that's why I love her.
He's like Joffrey oh. 2.0.
I hate, yeah, and Jack Gleason, who played Joffrey, was so good in that role.
Yeah, because he really made you feel like this is a little shithead.
And Lena Headey is the same, and she's so good at acting. Like, her facial expressions through all of these scenes, especially in this episode, just so fucking good. It's like, man, you are such a good actress, and I fucking hate you for it. God, you are so... I would just want to punch
Mad respect.
Joffrey in the dead head.
Mad respect to her this season. I mean, my colors and biases have probably shown that I'm a Lannister supporter via my Baratheons all dying in the first few seasons. But, I mean, she made the best of what she had. It's like when you're on the chessboard and you're outnumbered and you make a stalemate almost. She's like, holy crap, you actually didn't lose. Like, I really like the Gold Company plan. I love it.
I do too. But my problem is just like, I feel like they're playing two different games, man. I feel like Daenerys, and this is why I almost kind of think Tyrion might actually be helping Cersei. It's because they have a few smart people on their side. How do they not see this as what's happening? Like, if you're like, okay, we completely destroyed this bitch. She has no way of beating us. And then she's like pretending to be like, oh, well, we'll just stay back. And then she's like, yeah, action will come. How do you not know, like the whole Peter Baelish thing? Like, how are they not like, wait a second, why is she doing that? Like, you're politicians. This is how you're supposed to think.
To be fair, the literal whole point of bringing the thing down was to convince her for the truth. So, to their mind, they succeeded probably. I mean, it wasn't like she offered that to them. She just gave them what they already wanted.
I guess that's
and
true.
They had to fight for it.
But from the beginning, they
She
should
made
have
him
just
fight
had
for
the
it.
dragon burn her ass alive, and this would, all be a better. Well, I don't know if it would be a better story, but it certainly would be one more believable for me.
I wish we knew who controlled the twins, because I feel like Cersei reclaiming Riverlands doesn't mean that much, but if she were to get the twins back, which I don't know if they ever lost it, because Arya just kind of killed everybody there, like that's a very big central point of the country.
Yeah,
For the next war,
assuming
for the war to
nobody's
come.
probably there.
I bet. What if nobody just got word and it's a completely unoccupied castle and nobody's had to come
Well,
down
I mean,
the
I
King's
guess
Road?
the females that Arya left alive, bro, they're probably just chilling. Like, I guess we'll just hold out here.
Brienne and Pod probably walk through and we're just like, all right, that was weird. All women in there.
Pod lays it down.
Oh, I bet he laid the smackdown in there.
Bro, he's like, I know y'all have been struggling
He's
here. I'll give you each 5 minutes. Oh man, Magic Pod.
He'll become the new Frey.
What? He's just gonna stay there.
Yeah, he'll just chill there and have his own.
Bran end up north. Be like, where's Podrick? He's staying at the Twins.
Said he had work to do. I don't know what he meant.
I've got a prediction of. We were talking about Howland Reed coming into play one pod when Mira went home.
Right,
And
yeah.
I think that he's still going to come into play. We're going to have the 3 forms of proof for Jon. We're going to have Howland Reed, who was there at the Tower of Joy. We're going to have Bran's vision, and then we're going to have
Maester.
the Maester's account. So that's going to be 3 different accounts, 2 eyewitness.
I could agree with that because Mira went back to go with her family, and they're going to all essentially have to come back north.
They're going to be retreating pretty soon.
Well, in this case, they'll be going north. Isn't Mira's family down in the Riverlands? Riverlands?
Thinking of what the north is fucking huge, and thinking of a map, I think the Reeds are southwest of Winterfell. Maybe.
Yeah,
they have a
what
cool
I
out
thought,
sigil,
too.
by the way.
Either southwest or southeast, I thought. So they'll have to go. They're not retreat. They're gonna have to go towards Winterfell.
What's their motto? I was looking at some mottos the other day, and I was like, Baratheons is ours is the Fury. I was like, that's the coolest fucking motto I've ever heard.
I have a glass that says that.
I think the
so
Targaryens is blood and fire or something like that. Fire and blood.
Yeah, we made up our own. My buddy and I. Ours is none so high and ready. It's a combination of it's like the Tully words and the Aaron words, and it's like combined.
And it's a great pun.
It is because we are always high for Game of Thrones, and we are always fucking ready. What are the Brothers Woods words?
I don't know.
Oh, I put you on the spot.
We're gonna have to think about that for
Brothers
later.
Woods.
But
Never face us in the woods.
Oh, okay. You're onto something.
Favorite top 2 favorite main, and then we'll do supporting cast for the season. I'm gonna go with for main cast. I am gonna go with Jaime and Arya. Supporting cast, I'm gonna have to go with Davos. 100%. Oh God, I love Davos. Another good supporting cast.
I don't know. I have my own that I don't want to tell you.
Yeah, I know. Like,
I'm not letting you take mine.
I was actually just about to say yours. I was like, I don't want to take his.
You know what mine is. Come on.
Yeah, I mean for sure, this is Gendry.
Yeah, it's Gendry.
Tormund would be my. Or
Tormund.
yeah, actually, no, the Hound. I love the Hound. So yeah, the Hound and
The Hound is
Davos
good,
will be
too.
my main supporting cast that I love the most, and Jaime and Arya will be the main cast.
All right, supporting cast, like you said, Gendry for sure. And I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna say the Hound. I really like the Hound. And the main cast, that's a little bit harder for this season. I would normally go with like Arya. Arya's my girl, but she's not getting a ton of screen time and stuff. She's not doing that much, I feel like, this season, so I don't necessarily want to pick her. I'm loving John just sticking to his roots. I'm digging that. He's really doing his thing. And I like Jamie. I want to see Jamie do his thing.
Payne.
Supporting, mine are going to be based on purely dialogue, and you'll see at the end, I've got Davos and Tormund. A lot of good lines, a lot of good jokes. Davos really stepped up his joke game this season.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give a nice fuck you to both of you guys. I'm going to eat every fucking chicken in this place for not calling him a main character. The Hound is my main character choice. And
you're right, I guess.
Tyrion.
You're definitely right, so I guess I'll have to switch my supporting one to
You can
Tormund.
keep him as a supporting. I'm just saying, I was like, the both of them did it. Damn, that was my main.
I really thought it's hard to place the Hound as a main or a supporting character because he's somewhere
He's like
in the
right
middle.
in the middle, yeah.
He plays an important role, but he's also like definitely not.
Either way, we all love the Hound.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's pretty good. We're an hour 20 minutes, so we
Awesome.
can do a little bit, but
I mean, that's
all I got.
good. Yeah, that's all I got. Overall, I thought the season was pretty good. I wish it would have been a little longer, but pretty good.
I got one more happy nugget. Little did Maester Aemon know on his deathbed, he was with Egg all along.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on Reddit, yo.
Yeah, I like that. That made me happy.
There's like a Dunkin' Egg series.
yes,
I
know.
His brother was Aegon, and when he was dying, he was calling for his brother Egg, but Jon was actually named Aegon. So
yeah, so he was just saying, the whole time he was with Jon, who was technically
it was a little tear.
It was
moment.
a little thing, yeah.
that was definitely cute. All right. Thanks for joining us this week on our last Game of Thrones podcast till we get into the book sometime later this year before season 8.
Yeah, but we might also do we might go back and do the seasons. We were talking about doing maybe like half a season per episode.
Yeah, I mean, we might go back because we never did them, so we might go back and review all
Could
the
be
other
fun to do.
seasons.
And I haven't watched them in forever.
We're definitely going to be getting into don't we have to do Defenders?
Yeah, we have to do
We
Defenders
gotta do
next.
Defenders next.
I got one more episode. I got the last.
Mistborn, Well of Ascension, and some other stuff, man. Just stick around. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be fun. Hopefully we're getting better. Leave us some comments if we're not. Tell us what we need to do better. We love your faces. Say goodbye, everybody. Say bye, Payne.
Bye. Thank you guys very much for having me on. It's been really fun. Felt like we've gotten a lot better over the time, and I hope to be back on more pods.
Definitely.
Hell yeah. See you guys later. Peace.
All right.
Out.
Tune in next time to see how Jared gets down the slope.
Oh, that's great. All right. Later.
Big pause I'm going to have to edit out.